It's recording.
Oh. According to CBS, the July 14th, 2015 edition, Campbell released a statement. Our hope is that the media and marketers will be more thoughtful and careful about their impacts on kids' eating choices. Now, you may be wondering what this is referring to. This is referring to the different shows, the television shows, the cartoon shows you find on television, like on networks such as Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or even Disney Channel. Now, there's a lot of controversy about whether cartoons are good or bad for kids. And, well, it's a lot of controversy, so there's several different arguments between it's a good programming, it's bad programming. I'll be going through and discussing some of the pros and some of the cons for is it good television, is it bad television, should your kids be watching, and is there an age limit that should not be watching? Now, the University of Virginia, they recently did a study. They took 16 non-diverse kids, and all 2 to 4 year olds, and they split them up into groups. Some of these groups went to watch the show SpongeBob SquarePants, which we all know and love. Some of these groups went to watch other slower TV shows like Caillou. And the rest of the kids went to color and, do random coloring doodles and coloring books. So what they found, afterwards, they gave each of these kids like a test. And what they found is that the kids watching SpongeBob, or the much faster paced television show, did much, much worse on the test than the rest of the kids. Now, this argument was met with rebuttal from from the SpongeBob SquarePants cast. They responded in the ABC News September 12th, 2011 edition. Having 60 non-diverse kids who are not part of a show's target demo watch 9 minutes of programming is questionable methodology. Now, what they're saying is they surveyed 2 to 4 year olds. The intended audience of shows like SpongeBob are actually for 6 years and up. So Nick's immediate response is, no, you're automatically wrong because we weren't intending for these kids to even watch them. In fact, some of the cast members, specifically the man who voiced SpongeBob, said it's up to parents to decide what their kids watch. It's not up to television shows. Now, we go on to that. We find that there are several different factions that say, yes, some television shows, cartoon shows, are educational, like Caillou. But even Caillou was met with some rebuttal of Caillou was overly aggressive in teaching their kids violent habits. Now, after the University of Virginia heard Nickelodeon's statement, they released on the same day in the CNN, via CNN, it said, but Christian says the research is methodology is legitimate. They said that yes, this was a proper way of doing it, and there really is nothing wrong with the research. Now, the research showed a few things. It showed that their kids did have a slight time delay with their test. It showed them that they did worse on the test than the other kids, but it also said that it was a short span. Later, when they took the test a few hours later, the time span was erased. There was no actual side effects. And Nick responded to this with, well, that's because it was meant to be an entertaining show. Because we weren't simply going in there and saying, hey kids, we're trying to teach you something. Nick strongly said, no, we're not trying to teach, we're trying to educate. Now, The Guardian a statement was released in The Guardian on October 18th of 2008 that cartoon violence on television can teach preschool children to be less aggressive, according to new controversial research. Now, that's just saying that, to go against the University of Virginia's perspective, that kids can be taught to be good children via these television shows. And not all cartoon shows are, in effect, bad for kids. Now, what this is saying, what this whole thing is saying, is television shows can be good and bad. Most of them, according to some research, tends to be bad. A lot more of the cartoon shows tend to be good, though. They keep the kids occupied while the parents do what they need. And so far, there hasn't proved to be any long-term effects of these television shows. Now, a statement from Boston.com on September 12th of 2011 said, "Simply put, television is both good and bad. There are good programs and bad ones." And that goes to show you that everything that is up to the parents to decide. This whole argument is, the entire argument is mostly invalid, because it's all up to what the parents decide to let the kids watch.